Hello, good morning. Myself Anuj Jaswal. Today I am discuss about B.Ed second year Knowledge and Curriculum Unit 1 for MDU and CRSU Rohtak, Haryana. This question is most important for second year. Let's see question. Discuss and describe relative roles of the knower and the known in knowledge transmission and knowledge creation. Answer. Relative roles of the knower and the known in knowledge transmission and construction. Knowledge is the understanding about the relationship of the knower with the known. In other words, it is the relationship of the subject with the object. Knowledge is the result of knower is active engagement with the object of knowledge. Knowledge and its intensity depend on the relationship between the knower and the known. Further, knowledge is understood in terms of enlightenment. As such, epistemology deals with the two fundamental problems of knowledge origin or knowledge and validation of knowledge. The discussion on origin of knowledge focuses on the relative roles of knower and the known in the making of knowledge. In the process, it generated wealth of knowledge on both ways and forms of knowing and knowledge. In order to know the origin of knowledge, it is required to focus on process of how we come to know. Process of coming to know begins with knower is the subject engagement with to be known. The object the knower is engagement and relationship begins with his her contact with to be known. The contact takes place through senses in a context physical, biological, socio cultural, and others. Role of teachers knower in knowledge transmission and construction. Teaching is a profession which must renew itself constantly in order to keep pace with current change. The role of teacher may be taken on by anyone. Example, when showing a colleague how to perform a specific task. Generally, teachers play a significant role in various teaching learning situations, such as follows. 1. Teachers as a transmitter of knowledge. The teacher is primary function is to break information and skill into small increments, present them part 2 whole in an organized fashion, and then reward student behaviors that mirror the reality presented by teachers and texts. For the teacher as transmitter, classroom activity might include responding to questions in a chapter, taking notes from a lecture, or responding to cues provided by a computer. Teacher as a role model. And the role of model means that what the teacher says, does, or demonstrates in class service as a model for students to follow and learn from, and teachers adapting this role perceive their behavior to be influential to student development. They serve as an example to learner of a successful professional in a field, a standing to which they might aspire themselves. The importance of a teacher as a role model has been documented extensively, pupils tend to emulate from their teachers in the course of teaching and learning process. Third, teacher as a facilitator. A teacher is a facilitator in the learning and teaching process. In the past, the teacher was considered the only source of knowledge, but nowadays the orientation is different. Instead, the teacher is not considered to be the only source of knowledge, but rather a facilitator in the learning process. The teacher is nowadays considered just as a facilitator. Fourth, teacher as a negotiator. Negotiation skills refers to the ability to willingness to discuss critical issues in a calm and open way so as to build consensus or agreement based on mutual understanding without taking advantage of either side. This provides a way out of difficulty situation. They act in following way. First, negotiating with students. Second, negotiating between students. Third, negotiating with parents. Fourth, negotiating with other professionals. Fifth point, teacher as a co-learner. The modern day academics have been demanding freedom from the clutch of business mindset and will not survive if education is continued to be treated as a factory for resource creation. Becoming a co-learner can help in the survival of the teacher. Controlling the students can be easy and guiding them will be more fruitful. Students will be more ready to consult and collaborate with you. 6 point, teacher as a manager. The teacher as a manager might model a strategy for chunking information, encourage students to build connection using advanced organizers and concepts, maps, and eventually help students to acquire techniques for regulating their own thinking process by managing an environment in which students gain experience at consuming information and asking questions about it. Teachers help students to develop their own independent abilities to review historical materials. Role of non-learner in knowledge transmission and construction. First, act as an apprentice. Learners are engaged actively in learning activity. They develop knowledge of a field of working in it under the direction of an expert. Second, act as a builder. They construct the knowledge products designed into an activity by the instructor. The product could be a discrete example, a diagram, an essay, or collective example, a website, and e-portfolio. Third point, act as a case study worker. Learners are assessed as a part of daily learning through a range of activities, including dialogue and interaction with peers and teachers, practical investigations, performances, oral presentations, and discussion. They analyze case studies to identify and understand the underlying principles and practices implicit in the cases. Fourth point, act as a context explorer. They gain an understanding of how others view on a given issue or problem by exploring the context they bring to the process, their facts, emotions, motives, personal standards, behaviors, etc. 3. Act as an independent researcher. They use as a self-directed, systematic, discipline-based process to collect, analyze, and interpret knowledge or information. 6. Act as a listener. They listen for details and concepts in order to increase his or her knowledge. 7. Act as a peer mentor. They support fellow learners over time by guiding, assisting them with their development as learner, discipline specific and or general. 8. Act as a peer teacher. They gain a deeper understanding of a topic or field through the preparation and interaction involved in teaching other students. This question is most important for B.Ed second year, MTU and CRSU, Haryana, Rohtak. Thank you for watching this video.